As politics and sports intersect, one Russian athlete is pleading for separation of sport and state. Argentina, Russian national soccer team's top scorer, shared a lengthy message on Instagram Wednesday. Calling war frightful, Zhuka said, "I'm proud to be Russian, and I don't understand why athletes have to suffer now. Why has everyone always shouted about sports outside politics, but at the first opportunity when it comes to Russia, this principle is completely forgotten?" Fans of the world's most popular sports video game, the FIFA franchise, won't be able to play with Zhuka's teams for the foreseeable future. EA Sports, the publisher of FIFA and NHL video games, said this week it is removing Russian national teams and other Russian clubs from those games. EA Sports said in part, "It stands in solidarity with the Ukrainian people and calls for peace and an end to the invasion of Ukraine." WWE is among the latest to cut ties with Russia for its content originated from Russian television and streaming platforms.
Coming up, we examine the beginning of a new era in New Orleans.
Yesterday? Okay. So we talked about.
Bless you.
Thomas, you're missing out on cookies.
So's Gonar.
Gonar, so are you. Look at what you guys could have had. Wait, you're not even on camera.
Who's Gonar?
What kind of cookies we talking?
Start video. God, Jason. Okay. Oh no. What? How? Oh my God. Right here. They're from Hawaii.
Oh, yummy.
Then he went to Hawaii and brought us back cookies.
Nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all of and I'm taking 5.
Coffee one.
Yeah.
That is coffee.
That
And then I
one?
think these ones
Oh
are
my God, they're like so
coffee
buttery.
dipped in chocolate.
Oh,
And pineapple.
I'm just
pineapple. Oh my
I
gosh.
have pineapple one, yeah.
Yeah, that one's got pineapple in it, I think.
Olivia's not still
Yeah,
here. She'll
pineapple
buy
mac
some
and
eating cookies. Yell at me.
Okay, so we're supposed to just pick one. We wanna.
Yeah, do you want to know what they are? How
Yeah,
about?
that would be good.
Okay,
No,
so,
just look at them. You know, finance is garbage.
well, Scotty Ringway said that she's in charge of the finance committee and they're gonna go to Valley Fair. So if you sign up to go with them on that one, you'll, yep, in July, limiting it to 25 people. Oh, look, she's saying that
Oh,
because
I saw
no
that in the group
one's,
text. She was
no one's
joking.
gonna sign up.
What's that ride at Valley Fair that goes up and then like stops?
Seal venom.
I didn't know it stopped the first time and I was like, this is how I die. I really
Oh
thought,
my
I
God.
really thought it was the
Oh.
end.
Okay,
love
I
that
think
feeling.
this coffee one is the best
The
one.
feeling of impending death.
Sometimes it works.
Are you guys gonna watch me eat cookies here?
Okay, I just saw this wasn't there a caramel one and now I can't find it. See caramel?
Oh my God, Jason, do you like coffee?
I saw caramel.
Not enough to eat a
Maybe
cookie.
it didn't say caramel.
Chocolate
A
dip
coffee
macadamia?
cookie does not do anything for me.
Not usually.
Coffee is fine. Coffee cookies?
I have enough to do.
Jesus.
No. It's there for being hot and scalding my throat.
Do you drink yours just black?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I drink black coffee too. Just black.
And there might be a little bit of butter in those
It
cookies.
starts to get a little cold. I'm not
just-
interested in that
just a
coffee
bit.
anymore.
Just a smidgen.
Really?
Mhm.
You don't like iced coffee?
God, I know. No, and then like, I always used to laugh because my grandpa would drink black hot coffee and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And he would, when the waitress would come by, he would ask her to heat it up for him.
Oh,
So.
Not, you know,
they
which
have,
was,
like,
you know,
meetings
pour more
and
in
you
there,
could
but
just-
now
know,
it's
sign
serious,
on
man.
if
Just
you
make it
wanna do
hotter.
it.
It's not hot enough.
You could be on a.
Do I have
Zoom
blisters in
meeting.
my throat?
You can.
Okay, no, try harder.
This one's popular because
had
it's
to-
like about,
I had this whole thing
Saturdays.
filled out and it just,
we're planning
lost
Red
it.
Day.
all
and
of it.
then,
Okay.
Which is a volunteer
This is like,
based day.
See,
second
yeah, I did it.
Thursday
It's
in May.
Can we put the?
I'm gonna redo it quick.
Oh, I bet we could. I better look these away. Otherwise I'm gonna eat them.
Because right now it's just directly at me.
Well, that was the idea.
Look at that.
Nice.
Look at Blake. What a clever fellow.
I don't know.
I think you're clever.
Sometimes I think you are.
coming too, so I don't, I think he said he's coming in person, so we might need to have another chair over there.
Why?
Struggling over
No, no.
there? This over here.
Had this one done, and it's gone.
Thomas, you should have stayed.
Blank now.
Yeah.
The computer ate my homework.
Computer ate, no, my dog ate the
Okay,
homework
Here's
on the
the,
computer.
here's the garbage. And I'm gonna have to.
Yes.
Hello there.
Hey, sorry, just figure out my audio, but the cookies look good. Cookies look good. The cookies look
Yeah,
good.
Eli, there's cookies from Honolulu.
I'm taking this one because you don't deserve it. Oh,
You don't deserve it. These are, oh yeah, okay, so they're just, and then here's a guide, on a guide. I'm all about the guides, you know, like when you get chocolates, I'm like, so I'm gonna need the map, where's the roadmap of what chocolate I'm eating?
Did you keep track of the ones you like the best, so you know, and then you write?
Did you know that there's some companies like Abdullah, if it's orange, they stamp an O in it? And if it's like cherry, there's a C. They mean things, like when you look at them, you wouldn't know that, but that's because it works there, then you find out.
You wouldn't know that the letter C stood for cherry as opposed to S for strawberry?
C
You
could
wouldn't
stand for
know
chocolate.
that it meant that it was a C. 'Cause when you look at it quick, you don't know. It's just a circle. Oh, that's orange. Right? You don't know. But aren't they so good? What kind did you take?
I know.
I'll get ready for the meeting.
Let's get ready. Let's do this.
Sounds like the.
Mood music.
Native speakers.
Violin 300 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Ten.
sorry.
Jeez.
No, blue month.
If you want to know more, this has to be signed.
I would love to know more.
These are the various committees that agents can belong to. They're responsible for various activities around the office. The growth committee is in charge of taking more agents. The Finance committee is in charge of being cheap.
Thomas and Gunnar, can
The
you hear us?
technology committee.
I can hear you. I can.
Okay.
Social equity and diversity committee is in charge of making sure everyone is included. Agent advocate is in charge of
I can hear as well.
representing the interests of the agents. You know, like when issues come up and being the voice of agents. And the culture committee apparently is the one everyone wants to join.
That's because I was on there first.
It's the fun committee.
The fun committee?
Yes.
So should I join the fun committee?
It's
I
totally
don't know
the
why you
fun
wouldn't join
committee.
the fun committee.
I mean, Kelly's in charge of it. Kelly doesn't even know. like, She's gonna see this and be like, what?
Kelly is about the
Amazing.
least appropriate
Fun?
person to plan the fun committee.
Well, that's why she has me. And did you like how yesterday she's like, yep, and Jessica's not really on it. I was like, sweet. I'm not really on it. I'm just there. in
Yeah,
spirit.
she's not a.
Thomas, did you sign up for one?
I did not.
Do you want to?
Look at that.
Sure. I don't know.
You attended your SPAR orientation?
No, that's-
Honestly, I did. I think I did.
Nice notebook too.
Turn up the
Yeah.
volume.
I can't remember which group I signed up for. Sarah Anderson.
There's growth,
Let me just move all of my cookies.
finance, technology, social equity, diversity, agent advocate, which we don't really know what that means. And I don't think.
Yeah, you advocate for agents.
Got it. And
So
then
if
culture.
issues were to come up, you would be the voice of the agent when things are out there.
Yes.
So like if you're
Okay.
upset about something, you go talk to
You
Dean
talk to
or Dave Stark.
Or Shane, yes.
Where's Shane? Oh, he is on there. Yeah. Well, he broke his leg and he's gonna be out for a while, so.
Did he?
Well,
ACL. He was snowboarding and he tore his ACL.
Go ahead.
damaged, or he bruised
Are we
his
gonna have to go?
femur and also damaged his,
He did. He was here yesterday.
yeah, his ACL and his MCL.
Oh my God. You know, I was.
Snowboarding is fun, kids. Snowboarding is fun. Like snowmobiling, where you lose your head if you're not careful.
Okay, now you have to, couldn't hear what he said. What'd you say, Thomas? Which?
I talked to Sarah Anderson yesterday at the team meeting
Yeah,
to sign up for the growth, I believe.
okay, I'll put you down.
Sweet.
And Gonar, I'll give you some time. Well, you were at the meeting yesterday. Was there, was there anyone that you were interested in?
Yeah, the social equity, I think.
Right.
I can't remember who was, I
Yeah,
want to say Tanya or
Pasha.
Candace, yep.
Okay,
Candace and Tasha.
got it. Sweet. Okay. So, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Okay, so we're gonna switch it up, just like John did at our meeting. Leadership meeting, we used to say like, tell me something good. So instead of tell me some, yes. Yes, okay, so. So Gonar, do you have a camera on your device? If not, it's. okay.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay, I want to, so I don't want it to. What are you doing?
Tired.
Okay, so Gonar, I want to introduce you to your fellow PC agents. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. Well, I'm not a PC agent, but anyway. So I'm going to put you on the spot first. So tell us when you got licensed. Oh, shoot, we can't hear you.
I can't hear.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now we can.
Okay. I got the email at 6:30 this morning, I think.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
This morning. Woohoo.
yeah,
Not even 12 hours.
yeah. So on a decent amount of emails just from like SPAR and then the office as well. So I just took the day to kind of process that stuff and just kind of starting to get set up.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And tell us, we'll come back to you at last, so you're not on the spot. Okay, Thomas, do you want to go first?
Sure. What, just sharing about the week?
Yep, and
Except
then
we're changing it up.
we're changing it up. Instead of something good, I want you to tell all of us something that you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for my family and my friends. You know, they are always there for me, and yeah, I'm, grateful for the KW people, that I'm getting to meet and learn and grow with. So yeah.
Awesome. And then maybe just for Gonar, share how long you've been licensed and where you live. And something
Okay.
fun about you.
And something what?
Fun.
Okay. So it's been about a month now, since I got licensed. And then what was the other thing?
Where you live.
I'm in Fridley. So where are you, Gonar?
I am in Mankato, Minnesota.
Oh, you're down there.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Fridley though. I went to high school right at De La Salle, so right in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
So I know the Fridley area a decent amount.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
And something fun is, I don't know. I like to, I don't know, hang out. Hang out with my friends, have a good time. I don't know.
Okay, all right, Eli, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm grateful for my mother. She just had back surgery. So it's been rough for her, but grateful for her. And obviously friends and family and all of you guys.
Sweet.
But well, the next question is where I live.
Yep.
I live in Farmington, so it's a 25-minute drive from me, southeast. And I got licensed late October.
Awesome.
And what I do for fun is hang out with friends, take shots, and
Looking at me.
I don't know. I was curious if he had a tattoo that he drew himself.
All right,
I do not.
all right. We can get into that later.
You have a tattoo that you did yourself?
Yes, I was watching shots. Yes. I was 19, okay?
Were you taking shots the other day when you called me like 3 a.m.? I'm just kidding.
You're like, did I call you at 3 a.m.? I was like, I might need some explanations here. God.
Just kidding.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Eli.
Mhm.
Andrea.
I've been licensed for like 2 months. Something I'm grateful for is food. Like just being able to access food and being able to afford food, especially after doing feed my starving children and kids don't eat for like weeks and stuff. That's crazy. And obviously friends, family, God, and just giving. Let's see. I live in Burnsville, just about 8 minutes away from the office here. Something fun, or is it something fun or what I like to do for fun? Or whatever you want to make it to be.
Yep.
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of
You're a
something.
resident country music expert.
Yeah, but you guys already know that. Well, I guess I like country music, but aside from that too, I love 90s music too. Like that Super Bowl. No, I love that. And then another thing is I can speak some Polish. I can sing happy birthday in Polish. My mom was born in Poland and my dad was born in Germany. So yeah, that's just something else.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dana.
My name is Dana. I already forgot what we're supposed to say next. Grateful. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for my parents. They're very supportive and kind of me starting this and helping me and getting it going, and friends, of course. And then I'm really grateful for my dog. She just brings so much joy to my life. Let's see, I've been licensed for quite a while. I was licensed in 2020, but I started in kind of an admin role, so I wasn't actively using my license. And then I started actively using it at Keller in November. So of November of 2020. So a couple months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Yeah, it's been good. Something fun. Let's see. I think of something you guys don't know. We have 4 dogs in total, so that's
fun.
That is fun. It's a good time. So yeah, that's something that's
I think we should have a private party with Olivia. She would love that.
with all the plants and dogs.
All the plants and dogs. She'll be like, oh my God, kill me now.
Like fire her.
So Gonar, Olivia, our owner, does not like dogs, and we always like to
Or plants.
plants. So not like my office.
Okay.
To use that against her, I guess. I don't know. She doesn't even know why she doesn't like dogs. I mean, if you ask her, she's like, I actually don't know.
It's like cats.
Memory that she's repressed.
Is she a cat person?
Yeah.
No cats. No.
Does she have pets at all?
Nope.
But she has a horse? Or she was perspective.
That's my horse.
Oh.
That's my Olivia. Sorry, I didn't mean my horse. That's my Olivia.
Oh.
There's 2 Olivias. Yeah. All right, Blake.
Yeah, so my name is Blake. Super cool, super grateful. Rock on, man. Just kidding. Just kidding, everybody. Just going on. Okay. Yeah, my name is Blake, and I've been registered since the beginning of the year. I am grateful. Just in general, I think I feel pretty grateful. So that's my answer. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, enough jokes. I'm grateful. What am I grateful for? I mean, I'm grateful that I get to live. I'm grateful for, you know, my friends and family. I'm grateful I get to, you know, live in a safe area. And like, you know, like Andrea said, people don't grow up in the best places sometimes. What I do for fun, I mean, I agree with Eli. Sometimes I take some shots, you know, throw them back. And but I also do like a little bit of snowboarding, and I really enjoy hanging out with people. I bike. I do a bunch of random stuff, I guess. Call of Duty, that's a big
Call of
one.
Duty.
Love that Call of Duty.
He said duty.
I did. I did. Was that it?
Yes.
Did we say it? No,
Where are you
that's
from?
it.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did. I'm from Lakeville.
I'm gonna argue
I'm from
about it
Lakeville.
first.
Sorry, I guess I'm tired. I guess I'm
wanna
just
tell
like,
us.
I'm a little bit loopy
You
right
guys live
now.
in St. Paul?
Oh yeah, I was born in Lakeville and I live in West St. Paul. So let's just move on.
Does Lakeville even have a hospital?
I don't know.
You
I don't
don't
go
know
to the
where you were born?
hospital. Well, okay, I was born in Burnsville
Burnsville.
and then I lived in
Okay.
Lakeville.
Now we're getting.
And now I live in
clear.
West St. Paul, and I'm just a standard guy over here, you know, just being a standard real estate agent guy.
No, Lakeville has like the third or fourth biggest population. I saw that. Yeah, like a couple days ago when I was looking at it.
It's growing like bananas.
It's the
Yeah.
fastest growing town in Dakota County over the last 10 years.
Really?
Yeah,
It is the now largest town in Dakota County.
Oh,
that's my people.
okay.
I got the magazine yesterday.
We gotta cut him off. It's now Jenny's.
So what do you have in that mug?
No,
Shots. You put your shots.
It's not a big deal. Let's just move on.
So just don't smell it.
No, it's nothing. It's just, I don't know.
Water.
I think it's Jessica.
You think it's just that.
Okay,
You're up.
my name is Jenny. I've had my license for about a month. I actually live in Waterville, which is very close to Mankato. So, where he's at. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my family, my husband. We just celebrated our 23rd wedding anniversary. So, very
Nice.
excited. Thank you.
In Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a big, yeah. He surprised me with the trip, so that was fun. And then what else?
I think that's fine. Well, something fun about you.
Oh, it's not even about me? Say I'm a grandma again?
Yeah. And you do the 4x4s and side by side.
Yeah, we do a lot of off-roading and
Go to
outdoor stuff.
Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah. Like with
Adventurous.
cars, Trails, doing things.
Yeah, I learned a lot about 4x4s and side-by-sides and
Yeah.
all those
If you
things.
guys want to go ride?
Like
anytime.
gnashers and pinchers and grabbers.
Right?
Lockers.
Lockers. I was like grabbers. I don't remember that.
I don't know, it's a lot of words.
I'm just throwing them out. Okay,
Pinchers.
Pinchers. I live in Apple Valley. Can't keep it together now next to you. I have been in real estate since 2013. Something fun about me. I own a horse. That is fun. I never get to ride it though, because
You don't have a grabber?
I don't have a picture. She is, apparently the horse is lame. And I was like, what does that mean? And that means, Olivia's like, well, she's not dead lame. And I was like, well, I should hope not. But dead lame means you can't ride her. And lame means she just is not, like, when you ride her, she doesn't do what she's supposed to do. And I was like,
She's like lame.
lame. She's totally lame. So,
Stinks.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's me. Your turn.
Going on, I'm Jason. I live in the largest town in Dakota County. That's Lakeville. I've had my license since end of October, early November. I don't know when, somewhere in there, right at the end. what do I do for fun? I often tell people, and the easiest way to explain it is, I am the nerd of all nerds, in that if it's something nerdy, I've either thought of doing it, am doing it, or planning to do it. And unless it's LARP, I do not do any live action role play. Keep that
Okay.
to yourself.
Okay.
He's lying. He LARPs.
I'm not joining you.
Find your own crap. I'm not doing that. We totally are gonna start up LARP.
If y'all show up in wizard costumes, I'm walking away. Very clear.
I'll just dress like you.
Just come in little Jay and all that.
Everybody's playing live action Jason role. That would be the best day in the office.
I'll
And
be
I'm
a
sad that
buyer.
I would miss it.
Because I wouldn't be here.
Because I wouldn't be.
Oh my God. Okay, we, neither of us did our grateful.
I didn't do grateful. I'm sorry. Yes. What am I grateful for? I am grateful that on the 6th of March, which is just a short term away, that I get to one up Jenny, because I'll be having my 24th anniversary on the 6th. And so I'm grateful that it will be 24 years and that I get to one up Jenny.
Are
That's
you going to
double
Hawaii?
grateful.
Are you going to Hawaii?
I am not going to Hawaii, so I will not be one-upping her in that way. She one-upped me there. But I'm talking about what I'm grateful for, not what I'm angry about.
True.
It's a gratitude hour.
1 hour of being grateful, not angry. I'm
That's all I can
grateful for these cookies because I was fasting for 2 days, and I mean, I ate stuff like at dinner time, right? 24-hour fast. And nothing's better to break a fast than one of those cookies, because
I'm guessing your fasting was kind of going
it
slowly,
was
though.
super slow. Why do they even call it fast?
It is
There's
not
nothing
fast.
About it.
They should be calling it slowing.
Slowing. So yes.
I fasted for 7 days one time, but I drank coffee and energy drinks. But I went 7 days enough.
I think that's not, what?
What
It's
was
pretty
that
wild.
like?
I have a
That's crazy.
friend who went 23 days only drinking water.
What?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
How
it's
does
wild.
that go?
It's wild. He did fine, I guess.
Yeah, he was,
I guess.
they
Still
found him.
Still alive. Yeah.
He did. I don't know how he does.
They pulled him out of the ravine.
No.
He successfully knocked his arm out from under the rock. And,
Yeah. But it was hard. It was hard. But pretty wild. Yeah, pretty wild.
his name was James Franco. 22 days, he was under that rock.
Oh my God. Okay, Gunnar, so if you would like to share something you're grateful for and a fun fact about you, that'd be awesome.
Something I'm grateful for is definitely just the opportunity and adventure that like lies ahead with you guys. It's been exciting, like getting to this point. So looking forward to keeping it going. And then something fun about me, or something fun that I do in my free time, is me and my buddies do a decent amount of like stuff on the lake and fishing. We haven't went ice fishing this year just because we haven't really found the time to, but we spent a lot of time on the lake. Yeah.
And you're a pretty awesome basketball player.
Yeah, I play basketball in my free time too. So that's.
He really takes shots.
Oh,
The difference with Gunnar is he makes them.
Oh, Jason, you're good. Too good. Too good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we were kind of going over some items last group that we met with, and what is it? Housekeeping items? Is that what we call it?
Yes.
And I was talking about how I hate that when people are like, "Oh, we're gonna go over some housekeeping," and I'm like, "What are we talking about?
Where's the bathroom?
Where's the bathroom? What does that have to do with housekeeping?" Anyway, so in March, we have a couple of things that I want you to put in your calendar. Okay,
But there's really 3 things.
there's 3 things. Wait, there's 4.
There's 4.
There's 4.
4 things in your calendar.
Yep. Okay, so the first one is the 17th of March, which is St. Patrick's Day.
Yay, St.
Um,
Patrick, Irish kid.
And It's at 1 o'clock. We're doing it's in the office. It is Bloomington, Tisch report and updates. So Tisch is Truth in Housing. So they're going to have, they're going to be making some changes. And so you will need CEs to update your license every year,
Continuing education,
continue
a
education.
certain number of hours every year.
And I don't want to say that you are exempt from it because a lot of you just got licensed. I had somebody join in June, and then she didn't do 15, but then the next year she had to do 30. Right? So if you do them, it's gonna take off of your total amount, right? So you may not have any due on the 30th of June. I would still suggest going to these. This one will be helpful because you'll find out, I mean, there's a lot of properties that we sell and help people buy in Bloomington. So that'll be good. It's 3.75 CE credits. So almost 4 hours. And it'll be riveting, I am sure.
I got my SPAR orientation.
Same here.
Oh, you guys do?
Yeah.
I'm almost laughing because one of these people in this room is going to end up with 29.75 hours.
Right.
Scrambling to get that last quarter hour.
So I have all of my CE for this June,
Yep.
like this cycle completed, will this go towards like my next?
I
Cycle?
am pretty sure, yes.
Yes, okay, okay,
I think Melissa Johnson would be the best person to ask.
okay.
Um,
'Cause I think I have like 31, something,
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
Because
Well, I was licensed, I got licensed in August
Oh,
2020.
I see.
So yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Um,
okay.
so when is the SPAR thing over?
It's the 16th and the 17th from 9 AM to 4:30.
Just in time. And it's
Just
on
in
Zoom,
time.
right? Or is it in
No, it's
person?
in
They have to go in person. I tried to say.
Dang it. Okay, well, till 4:30? Okay. Because on the 17th, then, instead of our coaching that we usually have like this, what we're gonna do is invite you to go to St. Peter, which is super close to you, Gonar, in Mankato. One of the agents is opening up her new office. And so she's having an open house and there's gonna be music and food and fun. And so we thought it would be really good for you guys to be able to meet them. And then one of the things we talked about earlier is that Amber Seaver has reached out to us in the past and like Kelly and said, do you work in Maple Grove? Because I don't want to go work there because that's a long ways away. And then she refers it out, right? So that can be another opportunity for you guys to get to know the people down there, trade business, right? So that is going to be from 5 to 7. And some of you live closer to there. So if you don't want to carpool, but you can if you want, if you guys are open to that.
That's on the
And
17th.
yep. So I think it's 5 to 7, so we'll probably leave here like, I don't know, 4 or around there. So, but all the leadership team's going and it'll be fun. It'll be a party.
It'll be pretty silly.
It'll be.
And there's an end time, so that's
Did it
great.
have
Anytime you go to a party with an end time, probably get home in time for bed.
I usually don't go to those types of parties. They usually go like really late. There's no,
Like, wants to know if there's
no
gonna be
end
beer there.
The good news is the place is just a short walk from Patrick's, where most of the Green Beer Festival will occur in St. Peter. If you're from St. Peter or been to St. Peter, Patrick's is where that celebration tends to occur.
Say that again.
The green beer stuff.
So this is recently.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the.
And we can throw eggs at my son's apartment.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he lives in St. Peter.
Okay, so it's 5 to 7:30. Sorry, I thought it was 7. And the address is 108 South Minnesota Avenue. I just drove by it the other day. We were in Mankato. We're on Minnesota Avenue. It's the main strip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other people call it 169.
Oh, some people probably do. When you're not driving, you wouldn't. I just looked at the street. I'm like, Minnesota. Okay. So it says, come and celebrate St. Patrick's Day and enjoy some live music, food, and raffle prizes with us. Hope to see you there. So,
Was that address?
From
108 South Minnesota Avenue.
from 5 to 7:30.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's two things. Okay, the third thing is
Third
on
thing.
the 30th,
30th,
the 30th at.
March.
Do you remember the time?
10:30.
10:30. There is the award ceremony. And that is going to be at Morgan's Farm to Table, Best Western, right up the road on Nicollet.
Across 42.
Yeah, behind Burger King.
And
And
the Taco Bell.
right. And that is gonna be super exciting and free food. So you guys should all
Awards,
What time is it again? You said?
10:30 AM.
10:30
AM.
AM.
AM. Yes, it's an award ceremony, so you're gonna get to meet, you pretty much will meet every agent in the office. I mean, everybody goes. So,
Hey, is that so March 17th, that's 2 events in that day, 1 PM in the office and then 5 to
Yep.
7 in St. Peter. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, so there would be no team meeting on the 30th then?
We
team
don't.
meetings first and
have it.
third,
First
so
and
correct.
third? Okay, okay. perfect.
Okay, so we have the 30th. You'll see stuff to like a sign up or something that'll come out, invitations.
There's a post up in the Facebook group.
Yes.
a little bit.
a little bit. Okay, are you ready for the next thing?
The
This
fourth
is the
thing,
funnest,
the funnerest,
the most fun. Is funnest a word?
funnerest.
Oh, God, I don't think that's a word. I just don't want you to swear because it suddenly gets quiet. Quiet. Okay, so the 31st is going to be a celebration for all the PCs, all the PC agents and leadership. So we're gonna have a potluck. We do not have the time established. Grace, who is at the 4 o'clock class, is going to, or coaching, is going to put a Facebook post out on our PC Facebook group. She's going to, and she didn't want to do it earlier, so you guys weren't confused. So she's gonna put it out there so you guys can kind of vote on like a poll on what time you want it to be. We're thinking like between 4 and 5 to begin, because we want leadership to be there, and if we have it after 5, leadership will leave, right? So well, they might. I mean, this leadership won't leave. We're right here all the time. So and a potluck. So then she's going to also do something organizing so that you can say what you want to bring, right? Bring your favorite thing. It can be a bag of chips. Like, you don't have to make the food, right? And so what we'll do that night is we will probably not do like this kind of format group coaching, but we'll have a fun surprise.
Fun surprise.
Surprise.
Oh, surprise.
When did you say it switches over to the hour one? I can't remember.
So Jason and I have to figure that out as to like when we're gonna have these guys move up to the 1 hour instead of doing the whole 2 hour.
Graduation?
Right, right, yes. So that's the goal, is that we eventually have all of you guys together in the 1 hour from 4 to 5. And, everybody does that on Zoom. And I don't want it to be that suddenly nobody comes in anymore, right? Because it's nice when we're all together, right? So we just need to hash out the details on that and figure it out. So, okay, any questions on any of that?
It's a lot of housekeeping.
That's a lot of housekeeping.
It's like spring cleaning housekeeping.
It
level.
is. Well, because it's March.
Oh, damn.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah.
See what happened there.
See what happened. Okay, so let's start, go over the module that we had. So I think Irene might have said that we were supposed to move on, but last week we did not talk about the module. So I'm trying to remember, was it 5 that we were supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay, a day in the life. Yeah. So we're talking about like your schedule and the the biggest thing with, well, how about this? We'll just make this interactive. What do you guys find if you don't have a schedule? What happens? Like if you just wake up and you're like, so here we are. It is, I don't know, what time? What time do you guys get up? Okay,
Mhm.
depends on.
I'll get up at 6, do my morning routine, and then
Okay,
Between like probably 8 and 9.
okay.
So actually from probably between like 7 and 10.
Wow. That's- I get
it's a broad
between
range.
midnight and 12 AM, PM, whatever. Okay,
10 is pretty rare though. So between 7 and 9.
7 and 9, okay,
Yeah, I'd say about 8
Okay.
or 9.
okay.
Yeah.
5:30 to 6.
Oh, I'm jealous.
6.
6. Thomas, what time do you?
Seven,
What'd you say?
7 every day.
7, okay. Bonar?
Were you saying like with no schedule or anything?
Yeah,
Or
like,
on a-
you usually get up.
Probably like 8.
Okay.
Yeah, around 8.
What are you?
6 a.m.
6 AM, I'm 6:15. So,
And
Yeah.
Jenny was 7, right?
like around 6.
Or 6.
So what happens when you, like, don't have anything in your calendar? I mean, like compared to a weekend, right? Like, when you're like, wow,
I get up at 6.
Yeah,
on the
I still
weekends?
do.
Yeah.
Barf.
No. not
You
barf.
do?
Yes,
Like my.
Do you
my
go to bed
body
at the
just
same time
automatically
every-
wakes me up,
every
like,
night?
mine just- yeah,
pretty
it's
close.
What
You
time
go to
is
bed at
that?
the same time, you said?
About somewhere between 10 and 10:30.
Okay. This is interesting, learning a lot about you guys. Yeah. Pretty strict on that. Like to wake up at 6 every day.
Yeah.
Even the weekends.
I wish I could do that. I can do that. I wish I did that.
It was hard at first,
Yeah.
but now most of the time I don't even, I mean, I have an alarm clock. I don't need it. I just put it in there. I mean, there are an occasional thing where I know that like this entire week I've been super tired, like when we got back from family reunion, I did set an alarm for 7, but I went to bed a little earlier that night too, because I knew I was beat.
Yeah.
But once it becomes a habit, I get up at 6 in the morning every morning because it is the most quiet time of day. It is open contemplation. There's no disruptions. And I can have that time to myself. It's the only time in my house where there isn't somebody or some voice or, email or something
Right.
telling me that I've got to do something. Now, there are times I do respond to my email at that time in the morning. But for the most part, it is a time that I wholly control. And I can do whatever I want without any extra stuff. And it gives me a great start to the day because I'm in charge of it.
Let's do a poll. Are you ready? Okay. You're ready. So how many of you, when you wake up, reach over for your phone and start going through emails, Facebook,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
all the things?
Yeah.
1,
I hate
2,
it. I hate it.
3,
I stopped.
Get up
4,
early, but I'll stay in
5.
bed on
Yeah.
my phone
Bonar, do you
for
have your
like
hand
2
up?
hours.
Right?
Yep.
6. Oh my God,
I hate
I
it.
do too.
It's so
Nope.
bad. It's bad.
So, okay, you don't. So tell us more, enlighten us.
The last thing I want is 1,000 people. I mean, well, in my case, 452 friends with their random inputs on how my day is going to go before it even gets started.
Yeah.
I would not let 452 people into my room starting a conversation. Why would I? But that's what you're doing, is you're inviting any number of random people to start a conversation with you before anything else. And then you wonder why, or you see that post where maybe it's a dog that got rescued or didn't get rescued. And you're just like, that's a terrible way to start my day.
Right.
Or, you're some crazy fool on the other side of the political spectrum from you is just spewing their baloney. I don't want to start my day like that. That's just not going to be part of my day. So the phone, I mean, I do take my phone with me in case, God bless Olivia decides that something is amazing at 6 o'clock in the morning, which can happen. Or John decides at 3 o'clock in the morning is to tell you when to make a slide. But outside of
That really
that,
did happen.
it has happened in both cases. But outside of that, there's nothing in there that when they posted it at 2 o'clock in the morning last night, wasn't gonna wait until I was ready to open it anyway.
Right.
And I just don't want that. It's important to me to control that portion of my day, to set my day in the right pattern. And by opening Facebook or opening CNN or anything really, I'm allowing somebody else to dictate my path. Now, of course, I think we all know in our heart of hearts that we're the ones who control how we respond to something. But why open the opportunity to something that I can't control? I know exactly. I mean, I'm pretty crazy in that, like, I don't feed the dog until the butter is melting in the pan.
What do you feed the dog?
The dog waits until the butter is melting in the pan, then it's time to feed the dog.
You don't feed the dog anything from the pan.
No, nothing from the pan.
I
No,
don't
but
get it.
there's a whole, like, the morning is
He makes
processed
the
down
same
to
thing every
Oh,
day.
breakfast is happening, you put that butter in the pan, then you go feed the dog, then you go back and put the eggs in there, bust them in there, and then it's, by the time the eggs have started, you throw in some salt on there, it's time to put the dog outside, you go back and then you flip them. It's like magic, man. Once you get that whole thing down, there's a whole set of things.
Yeah.
It's a whole set of processes that
That's a system.
a system
It is a system,
and a model
right?
for
That
how you
can
can start
be
your day
duplicated
every day.
every day. So, we talk a lot, like in here, it says, you know, in the example, it was 7:30 to 8 motivation building, right? So, but I think even before that, like probably 6:30 to 7:30, whatever time it is for you guys, is you have, and if you've ever heard of the book, The Miracle Morning, it's amazing. And it is really gives you a framework for what is best to do right away in the middle of the morning, in the beginning of the morning. And now you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's like gratitude, right? Journaling, prayer, right? Like you go through a series of things and it's all you, right? And so then you're filling yourself up with what you need before you start the day versus, well, let's see what's going on, right?
Mhm.
It's the stupid reels for me.
I
That's
start
what
with
I do
Wordle.
too.
So you started with Wordle,
Yeah,
huh?
get my juices flowing.
That's actually not bad. I don't think that's bad. But the reels, you know, the swiping, because you never know.
If
what
you
you're
could get to
gonna
Wordle
So
without
it's
doing
like so
anything
addictive.
else,
I'm gonna say I don't even know what Wordle is. I've seen it and I hear people talking about it
Oh my gosh,
and
I'm
I'm like,
offended. I can't believe that.
oh my God.
We know.
Total Wordle.
so I do, while I'm eating my breakfast, I watch a video. And it's from Daily Motivation.
Okay.
There's an ad. To get out of that ad, because I don't want to hear about it.
I thought that was more.
And it's, the actual channel is new, is Daily Motivation. Every day, there's a 10-minute roughly video
Really? A new one?
every day.
On
That's a
YouTube.
lot of work.
Yep. And it talks about different things.
What's it called?
Yeah, what's it called?
Daily Motivation,
Daily Motivation on what?
YouTube.
YouTube.
I have to pick up my girlfriend at 6:15 every morning and then work out. And if I'm late, I get read.
No kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but see that, and that is like the next, I mean, how do you figure out how to work out? How do you figure out that time for exercise? And whether that's gym exercise or you're just taking your dog for a walk for 15-20 minutes, how do you build that into your day if your day is already unpredictable?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole, that's, and to be honest with you, talk about Miracle Morning, that's where it started for me, because I've adapted Miracle Morning to what works for me. There are parts I don't do. I mean, parts of it, I accept his premise wholly.
Yeah.
But I feel really stupid talking to myself in the mirror, and it doesn't matter how many times or how many smart people have done it. I ain't one of them. I'm
Right.
just not one. I don't need to tell myself that I'm good enough,
Smart
I'm
enough.
smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. I'm not in for that. If it's gonna work for me, I need to tell something very not useful. I mean, if there's gonna be a talk track in the mirror, it's gonna be a negative one.
Yeah.
And that's just not gonna be
Right.
part of my day. So
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this, you idiot? Thing you have ever
This
done
is
in your
super.
life. and you're doing it because you're dumb and you've been suckered.
Maybe you should do that and then you have to work out of it. So it's like you're training yourself, like if someone says this to
You know, I
you
know that you're both having some fun and also not, because there's a certain amount of truth to that. You know, you do have to experience some kind of hardship or challenge to figure your way out of it. And if you don't confront the things that are challenges to you, you will always be beholden to them. But if I do a motivation minute in the mirror, it is not a positive experience. I promise you, I will come out of that on fire. But it is not a positive experience. So learning that that's the way I can motivate myself. You know, look, I didn't have a great childhood, those kinds of things. And I think back about what it was like and where I was and the people I knew and what happened to them and what could have happened to me. That's not a positive experience. I mean, you can say, well, yeah, but you're fine now. Yeah, but that's not where I go. I go to that place and that's what provides me. And so I can't go there very often or else I'll have a very negative outlook on a lot of things. It was only once I put that behind me that I could start to have a positive and successful place in my own life.
Yeah.
I mean, I still know to go there, how to find it when I need it. But, you know, any number of people who've had that thing can tell you, you know, that's how that chip on their shoulder is what propelled them to the next level. But you can't live there.
So what other parts of Miracle Morning are there that you do on a daily basis?
Gratitude is a critical part of every day. If there's one thing I don't miss, it's that. I never miss gratitude. I talked about, for me, one of the things I had is a service element. There's 10 minutes where I have to think about who I have to serve that day and what, you know, where they're at. I don't do a to-do list. I have a to whom list. And to me, that's very different. Who I'm going to work with and what I'm going to work with people on and who is important to me that day. I do read 10 minutes a day. Instead of an affirmation, I do that 10-minute daily motivation video. I read, but I'm not as focused on my reading as I should be. I like read National Geographic. I do. I get it every month. I'm like an old man. I like to look at the maps. But you know, those are things that I do out of there every day. And I do the exercise because I think that that's critical. There's just no way you can get around it. I've been a little lax in making sure that it used to be 30 minutes and now it's been 10 and I'm really not happy with it because COVID has helped me find COVID-19.
Right.
They're all right here, all 19 of them. But you know, I can get back into that. I can get back into that practice. I just have to.
Yeah. And how much time does that take?
That right there takes about an hour.
An hour, yeah.
And that's why I get up at 6.
Yep. Do you guys, do any of you do anything
He gets up
consistently every morning?
Yeah, I go pick up my girlfriend at 6:15. We go do our workout. Typically takes about an hour, get home at 7:30 and then cook 3 eggs and a protein shake every morning. And then, yeah, kind of.
Have you ever shown up at the gym and she's not there?
I pick
Because
her
that's
up.
how you know you're not going to work out.
Huh? I go pick her up.
She got it. That's a joke, man.
That's how you know you're not
I
gonna work
missed it.
out.
That's how you know.
Oh, I see.
She
I
doesn't
see.
show up at the gym. It's not gonna work out.
It's not going to work out.
We're not working out.
It's 2 jokes about workout.
Two.
Yeah. I
The
get it.
word workout goes 2 different
Yep.
ways.
Yeah.
Beat that horse.
Trying.
Okay, anybody else? Something you consistently do?
I'm kind of on the same lines, like when I wake up at 5:30, I make my boyfriend breakfast to get him lunch for work ready, and then I let the dogs out, and then I feed one of our dogs, because the other one doesn't eat till noon. And then I work out, and then I do my to-do list for the day, and yeah, that's every day.
Okay, anybody else?
I think so every morning I wake up and then I've pretty recently, probably within the last month, stopped like consciously looking at my phone first thing in the morning because it just it stresses me out, honestly.
Mhm.
Even if there's nothing that anybody needs from me, it's just, okay, this is going on in the world. This is going, it's just like,
Right.
it's stressful. So I'll wake up, I have a lot of plants in my room. And so I like open the windows, get fresh air, and then just try and take like minutes to just look around and be like, oh, like, oh my gosh, there's a new leaf on this plant, or this, it's really nice outside today, or like, I'm gonna, light this candle and make it smell good in here, and just kind of set myself up to feel calm, and then come from that calm place to be able to do, the to-do list and this and kind of go from there, but just have just take a couple deep breaths in the morning to be like, it's okay,
Right.
everything will be good. Let's figure it out and then go. Because if I start figuring out what I need to do right away, I'm like, it will not get done in the way that it should get done, because I'm
Right.
not setting myself up to be calm for the day.
And new leaves are really important.
I love it. It makes me so happy.
And then when they have like little babies.
I
and
know.
you're like, what?
I know.
Oh my
There's I
God,
have a
plant
succulent
ideas.
that I thought was gonna die, and now there's roots, and I'm so happy.
I know.
because-
Oh my God. You guys, you can totally relate. Can't you?
Pure joy.
Absolutely.
I just, it
This
makes
is-
me
this is
so
a deep
happy. I love
rooted
it.
love.
Yeah.
So one of the things in Miracle Morning, one of the
Yeah.
tenets is meditation.
Yeah.
And that's as close to meditation or the idea of meditation without actually, I mean, so many times people are put off by the idea of meditation, like sitting there and saying some weird word over and over again that they don't understand. But the idea is to be present.
Mhm.
And meditation to bring you into that place of presence. The techniques of meditation do have amazing lifetime impacts on your health and well-being and mental strength. So, if you can get to a place where you start to incorporate that, that will continue your process on down the road.
Yeah.
But that's a step that can be very difficult to accept, because it's not, when we think of the culture that we've grown up in, that's not really part of it, like it is in some other cultures where, everyone does it, us, it's
Yeah.
kind of oh yeah, that's kind of a weird thing, dude. I can't sit still for 10 minutes. You can't sit still for 10 minutes? Then you probably should work on that.
And there's stuff on YouTube too, like with that,
A
like where it
great,
helps you through it.
There's a great app.
It's like there's Headspace. Calm.
Headspace. is what it is.
Headspace, yeah.
There's one. It's called Slumber. They do like if you have trouble sleeping,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like nighttime meditation. So you put that on when you go to sleep, and it's just you can do like
Yeah.
body scans or like if there's affirmations for good sleep, or it's just whatever you're feeling. And I never make it through the whole thing because I'm out
Yeah.
after about half. But
It's funny, in
good.
Spanish class, we'd also, in high school, always be like, oh my gosh, can we do a relaxation tape?
Yeah.
And so she'd put it on and they'd turn the lights out and you'd go, like, you could lay on the floor or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, literally, that's what we were meditating. And I'm
Mhm.
like, God, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
it would be, like, now relax your hands, las manos.
Yes.
Right? And so they would go
Yeah.
through the whole thing and everybody loved it. I think
Yeah.
some people just go to sleep, but.
Well, it's like even just focusing on one thing at a time is a form of meditation, because it's just one thing, being
Yeah.
present for that.
Yeah.
I did have an affirmation recommendation. If you're interested in that, there's an app called I Am, and it will shoot you a message to your phone
Oh,
like
I have
throughout the
that
day.
one. That's really cool.
And it just, it works for some people. But I am.
I am.
Wow, 300,000 reviews, 5 stars.
That's what they say when you do affirmations. It always needs to start out with I am. I am.
Good enough.
I am Wonder
smart enough,
Woman.
And gosh darn it, people like me.
Right? They do posing too, like power pose. Like if you stand up when you say your affirmations like this. In the mirror as well.
Da, 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 da.
Right? Right. So how can this be linked into what we do every day and how we unlock our, oh, who's that?
Camilo Allen.
Hey, sorry, my phone's about to die, so I'm logging in from this laptop. Sorry. Sorry.
Who's that? Someone's joining.
Sorry.
No, all good. All good.
Let me see. Let me get.
Yeah, I always had trouble falling asleep at night, and just because I never had the discipline of waking up at a certain time every morning. But now that I'm actually waking up at a certain time every morning and working out every morning, your energy during the day is way higher, and I feel way more motivated and just everything.
Right.
And my discipline's way better because I did that in the morning. And then at night, I'm just tired. I just fall asleep. I
Right,
don't
like
have
if you think about
trouble.
working out at night, it's like, oh, right, I'm not doing
I
that.
love that. It helps me sleep better, I
No,
feel
I
like.
get
Yeah, it's easier for me to exercise at night than in the morning. I don't know, I'll do like an hour at
Yeah.
like 7:30 and then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm ready for bed. Like,
Well, I just get to the point where I'm like, I go home and I'm like, I don't really want to go work out now. Like, I just want to go home.
that's fair.
And so then I have to talk myself into it. And
And so you get the like workout apps. There's one called Fit On. It's free.
oh yeah,
Yeah, and it's nice because then you can do it at home and you don't, because I think for me, like going to work out at night is like, I don't want to drive there at night and drive home at night.
right.
But if you just do it
Fit.
fit on,
on.
it's like get your fit on. kind of
They got a
sit-
variety of stuff out, like tons of
It's
different.
tons
free
of workouts.
stuff.
It's free. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's a
like-
good idea.
They have like zero equipment if you are like you have bad
Cool.
knees or bad anything. It's really
Do you guys want to hear something super sad?
Oh my God, do I want to hear something sad?
That's sarcasm. It's
Oh.
actually super funny.
Is it
But,
at somebody's expense?
but mine.
Yeah, then yes,
Always.
absolutely, we want to hear it.
So we got, okay. We just, okay, I just put a TV in our bedroom,
Good
right?
job,
Like,
Joe Pesci.
right. Shut up. So we put a TV in the room, in the bedroom, right? Micah always watches TV downstairs. The girls watch TV in the living room and family room. And I'm like, I'm gonna watch TV in my bed, right? Because that's comfortable, right? So I'll get home. It's like 7. I'm like, I'm putting my pajamas on. I'm laying in bed, right? I'm not gonna fall asleep. Sometimes I do at 7:30, right? Whatever. So I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. I'm like, I'm gonna do sit-ups in the bed
okay. I've done that though.
because it feels better on my back. And every time I go up, I can touch the dog, right? Like she's sitting there and I'm like, so I'm like, every night I'm gonna do 25 sit-ups. The cool thing is that since I lost weight, like I probably could have done 3 before and now I can do 25 and I'm not even tired, right? And so yeah, so that's my goal. Like every night is like if I'm laying in bed, oh, it's time for sit-ups. The dog's like, but you know, I was like, well, I gotta get it in, right? And while I'm watching TV and, but you know, I'm like, I'm not laying on the floor doing it. Right, without sit-ups. And so, plus it hurts my back to lay on the floor. I'm like, I'm just gonna, who does sit-ups on a mattress? I'm like, right here, this one does. So that's my goal every day is to do 25 sit-ups in bed.
Yeah, but if it's easy, you got it.
I should do more,
Plus,
right? I was like, I feel
Yeah.
like next time I could do
That's
more. I
great.
could do 30 the next
Well,
time.
you can do 2 sets of 25 with a short break.
Right?
Oh,
Reps.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that is my goal every day is sit-ups and, yeah. So,
The crazy thing is, and I think, you know, we open our mind up to the other possibilities. There are people out there who have to maintain those sorts of rituals. If you have diabetes or something like that, where you've got to hit certain times, and I have to eat at certain times, and certain things have to happen. And they learn to live that lifestyle, and you know, they never go, oh, thank diabetes for this. But there are certain things that because they have to do them, they, you know, that they become useful and they get the value out of it, and they don't necessarily see it that way. But in the end, anybody I've talked to who has had like that sort of experience is like, now that I think about it, yeah, I mean, it really does help me drive a process that in the end I'm better for, whether we like it or not. You know, most of the time the stuff we have to do, we don't like. the stuff that you want to do is great before you do it and not as great after you do it. The stuff that is good for you is crappy before you do it, but you are happier after you do
Right,
it.
like after you work out, you're like, man, I'm super glad I
I
did
don't
that. Why
know
was I
why.
complaining about
Yes.
doing this?
And that extra donut was such a good idea until you ate it. And now you've eaten it. Oh, God. why did I do
Right, totally.
that? So remember that if it seems like it's going to be fun, no, you're
I'm gonna regret this.
I'm going to regret
These
this.
cookies.
I know, I just looked at them.
I'm gonna regret these cookies, even though I want 3 more.
You can never regret cookies.
so.
Life's too short.
I mean, they're
Eat
from
the
Hawaii,
cookies. Eat
right?
the
Like
You know
I
what?
can't
I'm
get
gonna
these here.
point out, not only are they from Hawaii, but they're not like crumble,
Oh my God.
which
no.
are like, I mean, that's a sandwich.
Right? Have you seen the ones where they're double decker? They're
They have ice
insane.
cream now too.
Oh, you brought these cookies, Penny?
Yeah.
From Hawaii?
From Hawaii, yeah.
Nice, so good.
So why, Jason, is it important to carry our time blocking for the morning into our day?
Well, I think we talked before about habit stacking. And once you, if you can establish a morning routine and you start successful with that, you're going to continue your success all throughout the day. And then it's easier for you to build in habit stacks where, all right, I successfully brush my teeth every morning. For some reason, I always remember to put on my pants and then my shoes, and I get in my car and I bring my work bag and I got to get my lunch. I need to bring my lunch. Yes, it's great to eat out every day. So fun, but I need to bring my lunch. And so get the bag. Where's the bag?
Yeah,
Get the bag. And you know, it's just a continuous stack that you start building every day. And when I get my lunch bag, you know what I need to remember is to bring water. I need to bring water because I need to drink more water or a water cup. One of the two. And you got to bring that stuff and you start stacking those things together when you want to add the next thing into your process.
So it's not like before I brush my teeth, I'm gonna eat another cookie. Probably not that stacking.
I don't know, man. At least you're brushing your teeth after.
Right.
Brush your
Well.
teeth after the coffee.
Gotta floss though. too.
After the coffee.
They say flossing is more important than brushing.
You're probably right. And you know what's really goofy? Every time I go to the dentist, she's like, hey, when's the last time you flossed? And I'm like, you should know, you were here.
Right here with you, lady.
So, but I once you start building this success routine, you feel better about it because I mean, you've already started with all these little successes. And the other thing that happens too is you stop having what's commonly called decision fatigue. You know, like when you wake up in the morning, okay, what do I gotta do? I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, what am I gonna wear? Oh my God. And I mean, you're just making this cavalcade of decisions right away in the morning. And then halfway through the day, it's like somebody comes and goes, what do you want, this or this? I don't care. I mean, you don't.
Right.
You've already made all the decisions you wanted to make today. There have been so many times back when I used to run a retail store because everyone comes up to you and asks you how to do everything. Nothing can be done on its own. You get home and my wife would say, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I don't care. What I want to do is someone to make a decision for me. I don't care what the decision is. If you tell me to go play in traffic, I promise you, I'm going to go play in traffic because I just don't want to make up my mind anymore. I've made too many decisions already. And if you can eliminate some of that stuff by having a process in place that eliminates having to make the choices that are mostly inconsequential at the end of the day, then you're probably winning. And so then, you know, you're in a place, you can also be in a place, and especially as you guys are at a point in your life where things potentially start changing. I mean, your girlfriend, you got to do stuff. You got a boyfriend, you got to make, you're choosing to do things for him. You've got kids. They show up and they don't want to play by the rules. Well, guess where they learn the rules?
Yeah.
Right?
Burn.
Ouch. I was
Well,
like, wow.
yes, and yes, right? Anytime you say yes to something else, you're saying no to yourself. Anytime you say no to somebody else, you have the opportunity to say yes to yourself. And so balance, trying to figure out how to put that in that place as well is an important part of that context. If you want your children, you know, like Kelly all the time, I don't know why our kids don't just come home from school like I did when I was a kid, do their homework. Well, have you ever sat down at the table with them, done it? No. Well, there you go.
That's probably
I mean,
why. Yeah.
they didn't learn it. Where are they going to learn that from? The sun? Just casting out knowledge, that sun, man, woo, it's vitamin D and knowledge. It doesn't work like that. So if you want them to be part of that, if they see you acting that way, I mean, especially in the case when you have kids, you know, you've seen it. What, why are you doing that? Holy shit, they're doing exactly the way I do it.
Right.
You know, they are little mirrors, and if you want them, what do you want them to mirror? You at your best or you at your worst? And it was really interesting today because Jessica was talking to the other class about one of the things she was grateful for, and she mentioned a real problem that we have in today's society, in that we get up and we go to work, and when you really do the math in your life, that's like your best 8 to 12 hours of the day, the first 12 hours that you're living. I mean, you got full energy, you got full choice, full faculty, everything there. And you're giving your best 12 hours to everyone, usually, but the people you care the most about. And so when you get home, you're a spent cartridge. There's not much left in the tank, and everyone gets to see you at the bottom of your day. And if you think about it like that, you know, 150, 300 years ago, 500 years ago, people went to work with their parents. Whatever their parents, if you were the village blacksmith, you went to the blacksmith and did the blacksmithing work. If your family worked a farm, you worked on the farm with your family. You were with them all the time. Not only did you see them at their best, at their peak, but you also got to see them solve problems and do things and interact with people. And now we tuck these lives separately and return to our families spent and worn out, and we wonder why we're short with them, or we aren't who we want to be, or those kinds of things. And so that in that case, I would encourage you, many people try and focus around something, this really crazy event called a family dinner. And I would encourage you, if you really want to do something like that, to have a family breakfast. Start there, because it's still in that controllable time. And everybody gets to see everybody at their best, instead of after the school day has worn them down, after the work day has worn them down, after they got to, you know what, I got to run the soccer, I got to run the ballet, I got to run to the, yeah, everybody's trying to live their life at that point in time. It's super hard to do that. So if you can reorient around the time that you have far more control over, that morning space is a great one to try and take advantage of, regardless of what those other people are in your life.
Yeah, I'll share with you guys. So like, I was listening to this podcast from Brian Buffini. So I always suggest for you to listen to Think Like a CEO, Gary Keller's podcast. And so I had listened to all of that, and I was like, what do I listen to now? So Brian Buffini does one 2 times a week. And so his was about anxiety and what that looks like, and then being grateful, right? And I had an experience with saying that makes me anxiety ridden, or that gives me anxiety, and then it was like, well, you know, Olivia's like, stop saying that, right? And then all of a sudden I listen to the podcast today and it's like anxiety. I'm like, what? So but what they said was, you know, let people know who are around you that you're grateful for them, right? So this is what I said. I said to my husband, grateful for you, honey. I love you and have a great day. And then I have 3 hearts. And then he said, love you too. Thanks for saying it, because it doesn't always feel that way. And then a smiley face with the hearts, right? And I said, you are the best, and I'm sorry I don't say it enough. Everyone else gets the best of me, and you should too. Right? Because that's what makes me sad, is that he doesn't get the best of me. He gets what's left over after the day. And I'm like, I want you to see the Jessica that everybody else sees. Because people tell me that they really like that Jessica, but I don't think you really even see that Jessica, like, ever. So when you catch me, such a dork, but like I Marco Polo is like an app where it's your face, right? And you're sending a message. You can't text a picture. It's just like you talking. So he comes in and he's like, oh, you watching yourself on Marco Polo again? I'm like, yeah, it's just so funny, right? He's like, oh my God. But you know, like, that's the Jessica that everybody else sees. And he sees it too, and he thinks I'm a dork. But the thing is when I'm spent, like, I don't want to talk. He'll be talking to me and I'm like, God, when is he gonna stop? Right? But he's excited about something and it's the end of the day and he's like, oh my gosh. And his cup is filled by being a coach and he coaches the girls and then he comes home and he wants to tell me all about it. And I don't want to hear anything. So I'm like, okay, I need to change this because this is his time when he is passionate about something. And I agree, the breakfast thing, like if I just got up earlier and when he gets up, I could go out there, even though I'm not eating breakfast, but I could go out there and we could converse about whatever. Right. And I know that that is the Jessica that he would want. And it is the Mike that I would want as well. Right. Because we're having a meaningful conversation. And, then there would be screeching in a bathroom about get out of the bathroom. It's my turn. And the girls are curling hair and, all the things. But
You know what those are? Those are memories.
those are memories. Those will not last forever. Right. Because when it's just Mike and I, that no one's going to be doing that. But, so yeah, I think, I would challenge you guys to text one person every morning that you're grateful for them and make it a different person every morning and not repeat for 63 days. Right. And then, like Chad said yesterday in the meeting, he's like, I am on day 8 and it is not only helping the people I'm texting, but it's changing me and who I am and how I think all day, because you start to, in what they said in oh my gosh, what's his name? Sean Inker. What you end up doing is you start scanning, right? And you start thinking of, now who am I grateful for? Right. And then maybe the day before you're like, oh, I got to think of somebody for tomorrow. Who's it going to be? Right. And you never know how it's going to affect somebody else and change something for them. So, and really this whole module is all about what does the agent's daily schedule look like, right? And so that's why, I don't know, what was it, like maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I wanted you guys to send me your time block schedule. And the challenge was, okay, send it to me. And then now after a week, how did it go? Right? So that's the question is, how are your time block schedules going? Like, I know it's not, it's not really fair for me to compare mine to anybody else's. The thing is like, that's my day, right? Like it's time blocked out every single minute, right? And I have like lunch in there because if I don't, I probably won't eat lunch. And then I work late today. So then I say from 9 to 11, no appointments, right? What am I doing in that time? It doesn't matter. I'm just not getting appointments. I'm not getting my calendar filled up, right? So, so what does that look like for you guys and how is it going? I'll start with you.
Well, I'll start out with an interesting piece. All of you probably have, and even I think Gonar even has my calendar link. You can literally schedule anything on my calendar. And so I look at my calendar and I have a huge block open just for other people. However, there is a time every day from 9 to 11 that is not open. You know why 9 to 11 isn't open on my calendar? Because you should be generating leads. And I want to make sure that in the first 2 hours of your day, you aren't getting confused that you can do something else. First 2 hours of your day are lead generation. I work for you. I understand that. I'm not even open. So right off the bat, that's the case. And I take my last appointment in time so that I can close up my day. So the calendar actually ends at 4. So right off the bat, a big part of my time block is literally time given to other people because of the nature of my job. But if you're on my calendar on any given day, and today is a good example. There are still plenty of things on there that are blocked out. I had no appointments today with any individuals, but there's still plenty of things that get blocked in there just as it goes. So every Thursday, that's why I do my training class every Thursday at 1. I can commit to that time. I know that time will work. I know that it's after lunch so that the humans are awake. And even Blake can attend if he needed to. But that's a time where I know I can get kind of almost to your question earlier about when's the best time to call people. When's the best time to get people in the office after lunch, right? They go to lunch, plan it after lunch, and then right there, right? So it's all part of be just being thoughtful about what my process is gonna look like and what it's not gonna look like. I have a time block this morning because I start my day late at 10:30 today in the office. Today is the day I take my daughter to school every week. Every week on Thursday, riding with dad. There's time blocked out to stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get a medium Charlie with extra fluff or something. And we do that every Thursday, and that's just part of the thing. And that's one of those places that she can depend on to have a conversation with me, and she can rely on that. It's funny you mentioned getting up there's a point, and Kelly tried that for a little bit, and I said, no, why don't you get up at 7?
I'm gonna need my quiet time.
This is still my time. Part of I mean, you can be up, you just be in another room.
Going to the garage.
Don't talk to me if you're up,
This
okay?
is my time.
You know what? I feel like Mike would probably say that. He'd be like, "Oh, what? Oh, why are you up?"
Yeah, it's really
Why am I
weird.
up? Well, I'm just watching the news here and you're talking to me nonstop.
Yep.
And I'm going back to bed.
You got to find that way that works, right? I
Right.
mean, that you figure, and that's the thing though, you figure out how to make it work, not it won't work or it can't work. You try it, and if it doesn't work, you adjust it. You don't just throw it away. But that's my time blocking in a nutshell. And it's, sometimes there are times, my job also is very much driven by external things in a way that a lot of real estate agents are in some cases, but mine are many little things where agents are typically drawn by fewer larger things that kind of come up. You know what I mean? If you have to, guy says, hey, I want to sell my house, you make an appointment, and that's a big block of time. No, I get a guy who says I can't
How do I
figure out
log
how to get
in?
an MLS, and then we go and fix that, and then before you're done, there's somebody else saying I need to do this. And that's cool, because that's the way I prefer to live anyway. I've retailed myself into attention deficit disorder, and now I really can't focus for that long.
I think that's a thing. Yeah.
I really do.
I'm
Honestly, after you worked in retail for too long, I'm ready to move on to the next. I'm ready for the next customer. Who's next?
You're looking at him.
Wow.
We've hit our mark here. We've been together for 10 minutes. I'm gonna need to move on.
I've got other things and other people to work on. And no, there's nobody waiting, but I'll go see if I can find one or something. I tell you what, ever sit there with me, Trump, someday and try to sit there with me at my desk for an hour. See how long that lasts. It's impossible.
Well, I walk by a lot and you're not there. So
It's really hard for me to be there for an hour.
Yeah, today he came up to me, I had my headphones on, he went. Hey, didn't even have to look, and I was like, hey, Jason.
Really hard.
That's funny.
oh my God.
So that's my time blocking works pretty well. And because I set up a calendar for other people to do, the second part of that is it means that I don't have to spend a lot of back and forth time with people. Because normally it would be, hey, when are you available? Well, I'm available on Tuesday from 1 to 5. Well, Tuesday won't work for me. How about Wednesday? Well, Wednesday I can do at 3. Well, I can't do Wednesday at 3. Forget it. Here's the calendar. Run wild, kid. Run wild. Take a time. What works for you, I'll be there.
Run wild.
On the other side, there is a certain amount of picking up the phone each day when you're ready to start that part of the day and go, holy cats, I'm busy today. Or I got nothing to do. I got to figure out something to do today.
Yeah.
And that's, so there's a trade-off. But at least for my job, it's a super positive one.
Well, and I'll bring up a quote that was mentioned yesterday at the team meeting. Amanda said, one of the takeaways from family reunion, she said, lead generate to your strengths, not everyone else's. So I think, like Blake, you and I talked today and you're like, I'm not super into calling, right? And so that you don't have to do that, right? If it's something you don't like to do, then don't do it, because you're not going to be successful. And forcing yourself to do it is like the people are going to tell, right? So really, think about the way that your sphere, your people, whoever it is, what is their preferred way to communicate, right? That's how you're going to reach out to them. And I use the example today of Dave Stark. He's old school, right? He likes to call people. So that's his thing. And he's comfortable doing that. So then if any of you guys go talk with him and he starts telling you, here's what you should do. He sometimes will say to people, I want to make a call right now. And I've had agents be like, oh my God, I'm so afraid. Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, Dave, like chill it out, right? So, I mean, that's like make a call, right?
Yeah.
Like people end up just calling their mom. And they're like, yo, what's up, right? You know, anybody wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Mom, right? So super obvious, you know, but that's not you. The other thing too is like I joke around with Thomas and I, our sister. If I called her, she would be like, oh my God, who died? Like, we don't call each other, right? We text. And so you have to reach out to people the way that they will respond back. Cause like we were talking today, like if you will tell your story about calling your friends.
Yeah, so if I call someone my age or that I either went to high school with or in my, sphere of influence, basically. And I basically have their number in my phone. I'll call them and it's like, how do you go through forward or any script with them? Because they're like, yeah, what's up? Like, are you gonna invite me to the bar or so, you know, like what? There's no conversation. Like the only thing I can ask about is their school or work. And then they're always just like, yeah, what's up? Like what? And then it's just
right.
Calling's just not, it's just awkward. And then I guess calling's just not their preferred way.
Right.
And where I should just be like text them.
Right.
Or something like that. But whereas if I'm calling one of my parents' friends who I often hang out with them too, but if I'm calling them, conversation flows easy. It's just smooth and they're asking me questions, I'm asking them questions. But yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Like we were saying today, it's like generational, right?
For sure.
And so, yeah, so it's just not, you just have to go with what that group does, right? Because otherwise you're kind of spinning your wheels and that's always super fun, right? Yeah.
So the second part of that, when you really get down to it, my Verizon sphere, I have different spheres, but my Verizon sphere is very much text, no talk. No talk, none of it. But then you have to make sure that because it's not a conversation, there's value in a conversation that you can't get out of text. Whether you like text, prefer text, I am 100% text. You want to talk to me, send me a text, right? But that is a very, very basic conversation that really isn't the kind of conversation, because what you're in the business is of creating relationships, and texts don't do that. Your goal with the text is to get them to a bar.
Okay.
Where the real conversation can occur, right? And if that doesn't happen, it's all right that nobody wants to go with you right now. It's all right, buddy. Just cool down, send them another text. Just know that like it takes a lot of texts to equal a phone conversation. And to get the same value, it might take more text, it might take more work. But in the end of the day, whether it's coffee, whether it's beer, whether it's going to a movie because the new Batman shows out, whatever, the goal is to get that get to a conversation, then not just try and have it. Because you're right, it doesn't. I'm 100% behind you. It does not work the same way depending on the age of the group. On the other side, you get to my youngest daughter's age, FaceTime. Oh yeah, they'll talk for hours on FaceTime. And somehow, because there's face there, it's better and different and it can happen. So you could probably run forward through the FaceTime and win.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, my daughter's on FaceTime for hours. And sometimes not even talking. Like during COVID, it was like, oh, we're doing homework. I'm like,
what do you mean you're doing homework? I hear a voice in there. Who's in there? Oh, we're on FaceTime. The phone is like looking at the ceiling. Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Phone's looking at the ceiling.
Yeah, they're weird.
It's kind of like a body double. You need, like, you know, like if you're in there, you need to clean this space or whatever. You're just like, hey, can you just come in here and sit?
Yeah,
so I can clean. Then you can eat when you're not alone.
Can you just be here? And then every now and then, so one time I'm like, what's that noise? What is that music? And Olivia's like, oh, it's my friend Julia. She's playing the piano at home. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, they just
they're just playing whatever. I'm like, all right.
They don't want to be physically in the same room. They got to be in the same room.
Right, on a phone.
You get up, move a little bit.
I'm with you.
I know, I think my watch told me it's time to stand up. So I just want to know kind of what you guys have as like a schedule, like something that you want to work towards, a goal of doing. And I know that sometimes people have, other jobs or they have other commitments, right? And so what is it, like, if you can kind of go through for us, what a typical day would look like. Like I can start. So a good example Jason had was, he doesn't do anything between, what did you say, till noon,
Don't take an appointment till 11. First
11,
appointment's at 11.
right?
Get
So
here at 8:30, first appointment's at 11.
right, so that is, I didn't realize it, but I did do that as well for that exact same reason, right? Like I will not meet with, I think like our meeting is 10, I don't know what day it is. It's 10:30, right? I try not to take anything in the morning because I'm like, that's when you guys should be doing lead gen. And sometimes people are like, well, that's, you know, that time doesn't work for me for lead gen. I'm like, oh, whatever, right? You just need a time block when you're doing it. And so if I lead by example, same with you, then instead of the kids not doing homework at the table, right? Like Kelly asked, then you guys have that as, okay, this is what I do it during this time. So I would say, you know, for me, it's in the morning, that's when I work on doing my own lead generation, and work on talking to agents, or not agents, recruits, people who want to get into the field. And then I do one-on-ones and coaching, right? And then there's meetings sprinkled in there. So I really, you know, like I have a lot of time in my schedule. Like next week I'll have more time, but as the week, every day, it just starts to get booked up, right? And also looking at some of those and saying, okay, do I need to do that? Is that the best use of my time? And one of those examples was when we started K-Score is I'm going to meet with people 2 times a week, have somebody else do it one day, and I'm going to meet with as many as I can, because if I'm doing one appointment at a time, that's ridiculous. Right. And so then today, Blake and I were talking about it. He's going to help me make a video so I can send the video out to the people to tell them all the stuff that I say every single time. Right. And then when I meet with them on a like 3 people on a Zoom, I can learn more about them. Right. So it's working smarter, not longer. Right. So what do you guys, and you can share in any order, what do you guys feel like is a good schedule that you want to have, or that you found that you are able to do?
Well, like for me, I have like everything color coded, like first like appointments, and then I'm able to, like, for example, I have KW tasks and to do. And so I unclick that, because otherwise if I look at my calendar right away, it's kind of overwhelming at first, because then I have my daily to do and everything. And so so then I just have it as work. So I know like when I'm like kind of like working.
Sure.
And then when I'm working, then I click on the KW tasks and everything, and then I found that like that works. And it's like when I was doing that time blocking thing, it's hard to like plan just a regular schedule like dated, because it's so different, like especially like for me, I feel like with meetings and various like appointments and everything. And like, but I mean, I try to stick to like the lead generation in the morning, and then I try to do like lead follow-up in the afternoon, so it's not like too much kind of like right away. And then I even just have like marketing / social media time, and that's in that like in the afternoon as well. But that's part of my my work day.
Right. And the more specific you guys get with it, then the easier it'll be to start doing that stuff, because it's like, oh, lead gen. Oh, okay, well, what am I gonna do? Right.
Yeah, I would say that's my biggest struggle. Mine's just so broad, and I just need to get down to the time. At this time, this is what we're doing. It's not around 9 or, you know.
Right.
Because then there's some days where I'll get in my head and I don't do lead gen, and I'll go and I'll do the busy work for just creating my business, you know, on social media or just anything like that.
Right.
And then
This clean room.
clean my room. Exactly what he said.
Man.
But you know, it's just, I don't know. I just need to, because mine is literally broad, like
Mhm. Well, and it's easy to just fill it in with other stuff, because you're like, well, I
Yeah.
don't add, yeah, it's not super specific, so.
Mhm.
Well, no, what I found too that works well is like in the morning when I'm doing like my morning routine, I do like the to-do list. And like like when I'm doing my like lead gen, I say, you know, like reach out to this many people, so that way I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing during that time.
Yeah.
During my lead gen time.
Yeah, what is it called? Smart,
Smart plan,
yeah,
specific, measurable.
specific, measurable,
Accountable.
accountable, time-based,
And rational.
ORT.
reasonable,
Yeah,
estimated.
so basically you're giving it more merit, right? Like you're saying, okay, like, yeah, I'm gonna do lead gen. Okay, what are you doing? How many people are you reaching out to? Right, because you can't measure it if you just don't have a number.
Mhm.
I'm gonna reach out to people. Okay,
I'm gonna do some lead gen.
right.
Cool, I called 2 people, I'm done.
Well, and like we talked about today, I was telling Eli, when you finish your lead gen and you've completed it, like, how does that make you feel for the rest of the day? Right?
Mhm.
How does it make you feel when you haven't done it?
Like you haven't done it.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's right here. And it's like, and then all day in my head, I'm like, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
I don't know what
And-
y'all are, but I love to cross it off.
Yeah.
What's the best?
You can cross it off, that's a pretty good feeling.
Did you do something and then you're like, oh, that's not on my to-do list, but I did that. Write it down.
Right, done, check it off.
Write
Wake
down,
up,
check it out.
done.
Done.
Shower, done.
Look at that, I've completed 2
Yeah.
days.
I am winning the day,
Sometimes just gotta whack it off.
right? That is probably not the word I would have used. Oh. Next, all right, moving on. Dana, what would you say?
So far, I think it's been good. Kind of what I'm finding is I'm finding that if I build if I have a more specific kind of less broad time blocking situation in the morning, I'll say, okay, I'm gonna do lead gen, and for the first 20 minutes, it's gonna be, okay, I'm gonna go on Remind, I'm gonna look at this zip code, I'm gonna get this and this and this, and then the next step is this, so I'll like say, okay, I'm gonna do lead gen today, and then I'll come up with kind of a to-do list for that time period.
Yeah.
And so do that. And it varies day to day, like some days it's, calling, some days it's the golden letter, some days it's, I have an open house or whatever it is.
Yep.
So that's been pretty good. And then I think I just kind of follow up with that. So I do lead gen, and then I do kind of a role playing something every day, whether it's, okay, I'm talking to myself if no one's there, or I have my dad or my mom or my aunt or my brother or whatever is going on. And then another thing that I found that's been helpful is I create a specific time to go over, like, what have I done for my 36 touch? And am I succeeding in, getting to people every 10 days? And so I've been kind of in that 36 touch follow-up being like, okay, do I have not enough smart plans, but do I have an acceptable amount of smart plans set up for me at this moment to be able to reach people in these different ways? Because if I'm emailing them all the time, it's like, you're gonna get sick of me. So I overheard you in the office, and I also want to know what the golden equity smart plan is. I overheard it and it sounded exciting.
It is super.
And also a favor, can you help? Smart plan.
So if you're in Smart Plans right now.
Yes.
You go into Smart Plans on your thing, if you know how to get there. If not, we'll show you. That's what we're here for. Because there are 2 great things, and I picked them up from a presenter at Family Reunion named Nakia Dollar. And I don't know how you can.
She's a PC coach.
I don't know how you can be in the real estate business and not be named Dollar. Now that I know someone named Dollar. I mean, right? I mean,
Dollar.
she's gonna make money. Her name is Dollar.
Oh, I don't have it on your phone.
You can't download from the library.
Oh, I see.
So we're gonna go into the smart plans and then libraries. What are smart plans? Okay, first off, command, simple command. Is it customer, resource, or customer? What tool? Customer R, I can't think of R all of a sudden. It's lost me. It's on the board. They took the board from me and I wrote it on there. I erased it. Customer manager.
Relationship?
Bam,
Relationship
thank you.
manager. There you
Customer
go.
relationship manager. What command does for you is manage difficult relationships that you can't possibly remember to do all the time. You're a great person. You're super smart. You're gonna be great at your jobs if you're not there already. But what you are not is a robot. And it would be neat if you had a robot working for you, but you do, and it's called command. So once you're in command and you go to smart plans, and then you pick on the library up at the top. So you see smart plans, my smart plans, and library, the three things across the top. Cool. You got a library up there, Dana?
I do.
You got a library
I
now.
do.
You can search the library in a lot of different ways, but I'm gonna ask you to search. Next to the search box is a thing that says smart plan name, but if you change that to it'll be like author. Author name, you just put in DOLLER, that's dollar in somebody's language. It will, oh man, it is dollar. She really spells it dollar. I wanted to convince myself she didn't. DOLLAR. Oh, you're still a smart plan name though, champ. That was probably our problem. But author name, and it is dollar.
There's no
Yeah.
point to it.
Huh?
A simple plug and play system for an equity analysis.
My computer acts older than me, as Jason knows.
Yeah, yours is funny. So is it dollar or dollar?
It is.
DOLLAR.
Yeah. Like
She
the
is like a money.
Uncle Money.
So Nakia is an outstanding, and there's two things in there that I like, right? The one is, can you help me? It's basically just a simple email to the people in your sphere that literally says, the market's tough right now. Would you help me? Would you help me by giving me a name? Could you spare $1? Dying of luck, out of work American. No, could you spare some time? And if you pull that up, you can look at the steps of the plan, and in the bottom left-hand corner of any smart plan in there is a thing that says steps. And if you click on that, it'll give you an overview of the steps.
And you'll show Gonar how to do this because he
Yep.
doesn't have any of this.
And this
Yep.
is on the golden equity one. We're not on the.
Well, actually,
This is
right,
the-
it's a favor, can you
Yeah.
help?
Oh, I
But
see.
in
This
any
one?
of those, yeah, go down just a little bit down the screen and see how it says view steps.
Oh, yeah.
Is this through the command app specifically? Okay.
Correct. And if you move your cursor over send simple email at the top, that's what the email will read. See where you're at there, champ. We can cheat off of her. Henry won't mind if you look at her. So if you
Sorry
hover
for
your
the ass
mouse
shot.
over send simple email, that will be the email it sends. You're even here. But that'll be the email that it sends, and all the blue stuff,
So once I added it to my.
Do you know why my
I just
person
went over that
Yes, I
sensible
do.
email.
because it's in one of the settings somewhere.
Okay. Oh, but this is the email.
That is the email it'll send. It says like, hey, contact first name.
Okay.
That will put the contact, all of the contacts that are assigned to it, that person's name will be there. So if
It'll
your
fill it
contact
in.
is named Barry Allen, they'll say, hey, Barry, we'd like you to ask you a favor. And then it says that whole thing. Now, if you're actually when you're in the smart plan, you can actually edit anything in there that you don't like, or you don't like the way it sounds. You can edit, touch it up, make it your
Oh,
voice.
yeah.
And then it finishes up with your name, your last name, and the link to your app.
Oh, that's
Because
perfect.
the more that you can get your app out there to people, the better off it is. They follow a link, boom, they're gonna be looking at it on their phone anyway. It's gonna open up the app store, gonna download the app for them. You're happy and excited. But there's a second step to that. And that second step is a delay of 2 days. So it literally waits a couple days. And then it will send a text using Twilio to them saying, hey, Barry, just following up with the email I sent you a couple days ago. Wondering if you had anybody that was interested in buying or selling real estate,
And if you
right?
don't have Twilio, you just manually.
Well, you could absolutely manually send that, but that would then be up to you at that point.
So for the Twilio, in there, should we edit into, like, and they're saying, hey, this is, or like from, because I guess it's a different number than the
It
number
is a
that they would
different
have
number.
saved. So you know what I'm
And
saying?
one of the verbiages that I really like
Yeah.
and we talked about that today in today's command class was, this is my business number. You already have my personal number.
Mhm.
This is my business number. So right off the bat, not only have you made it okay that you sent them a text, but you've also made them a star because they also have your personal number now. They've always had your personal number, but now you're just acquainting them with your business number. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to go, oh, that's kind of funny, but in the end, he's right. Twilio is basically free 99. I don't know what the price is, but in the world of real estate, it's basically free 99.
Yeah, it's like a penny a text.
So, you know, and if you're like my friend here in his sphere, or like me in my sphere, you're gonna be texting a lot. So it's basically free 99. Nobody wants to pay money, but it's free. So it sends out those texts. The other thing from Nikia was that the golden equity, where instead of sending a golden letter to random people in a town you've never heard of, in a place you don't know where it is, and telling them that you have a buyer who's looking for the house. And we'll get to that in a minute, because there's a different place with that. But that golden equity email is basically going to your sphere and saying, hey, would you just like me to come over and tell you how much your house is worth? Would that be of value to you? Would it be valuable to you to know how much your house is worth? Because I'd love to come and talk to you about it. Oh, and by the way, it's no obligation to sell, but I want to be the person you think of when you think of real estate. I want you to think of me because I'm an expert and I want to help you with that, right? Would that be a helpful thing to you? And that again is a plan by Nikia Dollar. And that is basically her whole plan. Those two things are basically what she does. She has a 36, the standard neighborhood nurture, but in times when times are lean, she just markets to her sphere. She doesn't even really spend a lot of time outside her sphere to get additional people.
So you said in the settings, there's a place, because it was.
There are so many settings, and I'm going to send you a list of things later.
Thank you.
So many settings.
Yeah.
There are 3 or 4 settings. It literally is in my group chat, in my nerd group chat today.
I was like, please do not reply to my personal email. Don't worry.
No. So I do want to finish up with where is the golden letter important? Chances are, well, it's generally important. It can generally donate a lot of things, but the biggest hang up most agents have with the golden letter is, what do they, when they call and ask about the buyer, what do I do? Most of y'all have a buyer. Most of you have a buyer. You're trying to find a house, you keep coming to me saying, you can't find any houses from a buyer. Well, guess what? Time to write a golden letter and mean it. What does your client want? 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage? Do a search. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage. Find out where they want to live and send a golden letter. And guess what happens? You do have a buyer. And the second in this market you get a buyer, you should be crafting that golden letter. Because the worst thing that could happen is a human being calls you up and says, you know what, I do want to sell my house. Do you really have that buyer? And you say, yep, let's go. I'll have them there tomorrow. Would that be terrible? I don't think it would be. What do you think? Yes, would that be terrible? It'd be
No.
terrible for your business. Ruin the whole thing. The whole foundation of your business would be ruined.
Crumbling.
What would I do if I had to tell people that I wasn't busy? Or take care of them all?
So question with that, so then like say, yeah, the seller, oh yeah, you have a buyer, you bring your buyer over, well, you show them the house and the seller likes you too. Wouldn't that be, well, if they
Yeah,
want to do
dual
dual,
agency.
yeah,
That's immediately dual agency.
yeah.
Pretty much immediately dual agency. And the real thing is, you got to get there before you ring the buyer. Because it's important to you to explain to them what dual agency is and why it's important and why they have representation before you even ring the buyer. So realistically, here's how that conversation really should sound if that person calls, right? The bottom line is, hey, I do absolutely have a buyer. I know exactly what my buyer is looking for. And your house fits the general description. Before I bring my buyer, could I come over and see the place and make sure that it has the things that are like, so we don't waste your time and we don't waste their time. Right? And then that's when you go there with a listing agreement. Literally show up with a listing agreement, do a competitive market analysis, this is what I think your house is gonna sell for. Are you interested in selling it? And if you are, here's what dual agency sounds like.
Mhm.
We can get this closed up pretty quick if this fits my buyer's needs, and we'll bring them over and see.
So if you're representing both the buyer and the seller, does it turn more into kind of a facilitator role? Almost, no?
6%.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It turns into 6%.
That's
is
what
what
I
it
was like,
turns
I
into. They call it having both sides. And it
Yeah.
is the true, it's the true place in the modern
Yeah.
market where an agent makes money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because typically, what happens when that person, the golden letter person, sells that house to your client? They gotta buy another house. So now you've just chained a whole series.
How does that work with like negotiation and everything? Like,
Negotiation, you present, well, I mean, at the end of the day, you already know what your buyer is basically
Yeah.
offered, and you've done a CMA, and you just don't provide additional information. You let them make the decisions.
Mhm.
Here's what my buyer, there's no, well, I think if we hold out the buyer, no, there's nothing like that.
There's no price, terms, or motivation. Like that's the stuff you can't talk about.
Yeah.
So here's their offer. Would you like to go with that? Nope, we think it's too low. All right, I will tell the buyer
Yeah.
that you think it's too
You're
low.
just bringing the information.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And the other thing too is that, you know, at the end of the day, they know, both parties know that you're gonna get the job done. Right? It's not like you have to, we have a couple other things that are up in the air, right? It's like if these two people can, or these two parties can agree on stuff, then we're gonna get this done, right?
That right there.
Because that's your personal email?
Mhm.
Look at both of you.
Yeah, right, with,
Look at both of you.
so is that,
You lovely people.
it's like, don't contact me.
There was something else I was gonna share about this topic. I wrote it down.
about smartphones, time that.
Um, He's.
Is that Aldi pizza?
Okay, so.
Hmm.
I don't know what it was. How many of you have a buyer consultation figured out? If you know what you, like if I said, okay, I have a buyer for you, and I need you to have an appointment with him tomorrow. Are you ready?
That's what I'm fine tuning tomorrow for my appointment on Saturday.
Okay. You do, Dana?
Yeah, I'm feeling
Okay.
pretty good. I went on designs and I have the listing presentation and then the buyer consultation packet. That's when I went on the listing appointment and basically I think it worked, but so I brought a CMA, then I brought the listing packet.
Yep.
And then I brought the listing paperwork, like not saying, hey, I want you to sign this now.
Yep.
But so I gave them the CMA, kind of explained what it was, how to interpret it, went over it with them a little bit, gave them the listing presentation. I said, I'm not gonna sit here and present every page to you because I was like, that would be rough for all of us
Yeah.
involved. But so that's just for them to look over and kind of, I said, this is, you know, an overview of what I do for you, what our company does for you, the resources we have and da, 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 da.
Yep.
And then for listing paperwork, I put it together based off of, you know, them. So I said, this
Sure.
is the paperwork that would be included when you guys decide you want to start moving.
Yeah.
So you can have this and I'm here with any questions you have. And then by the end, they were sending me a list of updates to their home and I gave them a price recommendation and that they're gonna list with me later this year.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm like,
Awesome.
yeah, so I don't actually present it to
Yeah.
them, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
kind of case by case. if that-
Yep.
Yeah.
So, so let's see, we have the next, oh, look at that, there's the Structure your day for success. I didn't turn the page. So I want you guys again to send me your time block schedule. So time block it out and put as much detail in it as possible and then follow it. Right. And then the next one
And then
is
starting for tomorrow until next Friday, like.
Yep.
Starting, oh.
Yep. And then. No, okay, then the one where we'll be doing for next week is module 6, which is, right, that's correct, right? Yeah, these are numbered here. Which is talking about mindset. It's perfect for what we kind of have been talking about, like with the journal, right? And so one of the things it says here is, what stories have you been telling yourself about having a career in real estate? So we want to do mindset overall, right? Like, what are the stories you're telling yourself? And the biggest thing is, like I was talking about with this anxiety podcast I listened to, is that that's just what it is a story, right? Because you're telling it to yourself, and when you write it down, then you can look at it, and then I can look at it, and we can be like, okay, so is this factual? And the guy in the podcast said that he was dealing with somebody who was going through some really hard stuff, and he wrote it down, and one of the things he said is, I'm a horrible dad. And he said, okay, I already know a fact, you are not a horrible dad. Now this other thing, you did that, you screwed up, that's horrible, and guess what, we're gonna move on, right? So, giving that a voice, because if you don't, it stays inside you, and then you start to spiral downward, right? Because you're not able to get it out and to talk about it. So that ties in really well with what we talked about. And then the other thing that, and I wish Blake was here because we talked about it today. So he and I talked about doing a video. So I'm going to do a buyer consult video and then a listing appointment video. And I will have, I will be the agent, and then we'll have somebody else who's there, and I will be presenting just like I do for an actual buyer consultation. And then what I want you guys to do so this was from a piece, coach in Coon Rapids, a productivity coach in Coon Rapids. He, what he does is, he does, okay, what am I saying? Well, I just want to make sure that they can, behind you, they can hear us. You guys can still hear me, right? You're looking at butts.
Looking at ands.
And
Replace butts with and.
and, right?
The email.
Huh?
I fixed the email.
How did you fix it?
I went to settings.
Did yours fix?
Oh, here, with this settings.
Sorry, just we are.
That's right.
Sorry, scroll down
Sorry.
to command email.
Yep, that's the other one.
And then hit manage.
Mm.
Very ready.
Yes.
It's okay. So what he found is that when he had his PC agents practice doing a buyer consult 2 times a week for 5 weeks, so doing a total of 10, they ended up getting business from it because they talked to friends and family and they said, hey, I need to do a practice buyer consultation. Are you okay? Like, can we set up a time to do that, right?
Literally is the next step.
Then they did that, and what happened, Jean said, is that business started to fall into their lap because people would then talk later and they're like, oh, I want to buy a house or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, Dana was over at my house yesterday and she's an agent and blah, blah, blah. So once you get to, I think what would be beneficial is, and I'm changing it now from what I said earlier to the other group, but like at the 5th one, if you can come in and pick somebody in the office to share that with. And then the 10th one, if you can share it with either me, Jason, or Melissa, the broker, right? And then we'll do the exact same thing with listings. So once we finish the buyer side, we'll go into listings. You'll do two a week, talking to people that you know. The 5th one will be somebody in the office, and the 10th one will be me, Jason, or Melissa. And we had kind of a running joke earlier. They're like, "Did you tell Melissa this?" I'm like, "I haven't." So whoever gets there first can just be like, "I need to make an hour appointment with you." And then she'll be like, "Jessica, Andrea needs to make an appointment with me. Is everything okay?" And they're like, "Oh my God, I don't know." And then she'll come, you go in, and then you try and list her house, right? And you're like, so you open the door and be like, "Hi, my name's Andrea. I came to list your house. It's 4 o'clock. We had an appointment, and here we go," right? So,
Why does it work?
why does it work? Because you are not practicing on your client. You are practicing 10 times, and then the 11th time is when you go out there and you know exactly what you need to do because you've already done it. And the other thing is that you're getting out there and you're talking to people. You're going to become more comfortable. You're going to know the information. And when you're saying you're practicing with somebody else, they're like, "Okay, all right." They're not like, "I don't want to list my house." Right? They just want to help you. Like, "I need help practicing," right?
Yes, you do. That's the point of this contract.
Now we signed this, and surprise, we're actually listing it. This wasn't
The
practice.
sign will be delivered on Tuesday.
You are currently under contract with me. Okay.
Surprise start.
The thing that we've said 100, if we've said it once, we've said it 150 times, that your friends and family want to help you. They do want to help you, but they don't know how to help you. So you practice with them and you've given them a way to help you. But in addition to that, when they hear you do what you do, they're like, "Oh, this is kind of serious.
Yeah.
This is like a real thing."
Mhm.
And then when it's like a real thing to them, guess what? They do tell their friends and their family, because until then, it's just like,
I wonder who he's working with. Probably other people. He's busy with other people.
or whatever. I mean, it just doesn't connect all the dots until, well, now it's real.
Right.
And now I can really help them. And I have some confidence about what they're doing. And I wouldn't mind turning this person over to a friend of mine. And it's like an experiment, right? Because right now, even if they're really in your corner, they're still kind of like, "Well, we'll let them work out the kinks on a few dummies and then we'll turn them loose on," you know what I mean? On people I care about, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously your grandma's gonna always list her house too. I mean, that's the way grandma is, but unless your brother signed up, and then maybe that's with your brother, but no, that could happen.
Well, our grandmas are dead, so we're good.
There you go. You're spared that ignominy.
Yep. It's all good.
But the point still remains, that gives them some confidence and puts them in a much better place to feel like they're recommending you, and they get to feel like they're really helping you, which they are. So that's super cool anyway.
Yeah. So between now and next Thursday, you need to have 2 buyer consultations practiced with friend, family member, somebody you know. I mean, if it's somebody you don't know, that's even better. That would be a legit.
And if it's
you'd
real,
probably
we'll
get 'em
count
under,
it. We're
right?
not
If
gonna
it's
tell you
real,
no.
Yep.
You'd be like, "No, it
Real
wasn't
counts.
practice."
Wasn't practice.
Real counts, like, and you can come back and be like, "So it was practice until we actually sign everything, and now it's real."
That's true too. Who has a listing pack? Who doesn't have a listing packet? It'd be a better, or I should say a buyer's.
A buyer packet.
What do you mean by buyer's pack?
What would you bring to a human being if you were gonna go talk to them about helping them find a house?
A big smile. Just kidding. We were talking about a buyer, just that, like the paperwork.
Well, not the, like the contracty stuff, but a lot of agents bring a packet with them to kind of go over stuff and point out, you know, here's what I bring to the table. Here's why you'd want to meet with me. And you can make that in command, or I can send you one that I made that's generic for any human being. It's about 24 pages. But I can send that to you and you can take a look at it and know that that would be either a great place to start, or you could probably do it right away.
Could you send that to me as well, Jason? Because I probably will revise mine.
Me as well, please.
You bet.
When I brought the listing packet over or whatever, I have a plant like on the cover.
Yeah.
And she looked at it, she goes, oh my God, there's a plant on the cover. I was like, I got her. I was like, we're done. It's like, we're good, it's fine.
Easy money.
It was like, all right, we're good.
Okay, so that, I still feel like there was one other thing I'm searching my mind. Do you remember? Well, one thing I'll tell you is that we're doing the same thing in the other group, because some of them have had, multiple transactions, some of them have had one, some of them have had buyer consultations, some of them haven't. So everybody in PC is doing this, and like I said, it's going to help everybody get business, right? And the more that you practice it, the better you're going to become at it. So, and it doesn't have to be 2 a week. I mean, you could do 5 in a week. Like it can be whatever you want. We just need a minimum of 2 so that by 5 weeks, we can all move on to listings, right? And then, let's see. There's something else. I can't remember. It's gone.
Just have to text all of us.
Gone. Well, it's the journaling. So I want
yeah.
you to journal, and really it's a lot like this module 6 in here. Ready, get set, get mindset, go. Oh my God. But I want you to, talk about or write about what you're telling yourself, right? And the goal is to get the negative crap out of your head. So if you're telling yourself negative stuff, write it down. We don't have to share it here. I will want you to share it with me and your one-on-one, just so that I can kind of see where you are, right? And then I think, what is it? If you write down one negative thing, write down 3 positives. Like come up with 3 things that kind of help you through that, so that when you get into that mindset again, you can be like, no, you know what? I did this and I did this and I did that. I'm good, right? Any questions on anything?
What's Jenny's email?
Jenny, what's your email? You should send it to those 2 as well.
You're on. I know most everybody's email, but I don't know whether it's Jenny or Jennifer.
Jennifer Elrod
See?
at kw.com, just all one squished.
Did you get a Google Voice number?
Mhm.
Yay!
Yeah, so at least I look like Minnesota,
Because what's this one?
California.
California.
Yeah.
What is calling from California?
Nobody answers that.
So that document I made in Command in about 25, 26 minutes, honestly, because Olivia said, you need to make one right now. And so I did. But in Command, if you like the way that looks, the next time we'll spend a portion of this time. I don't know when the next time is. 17th is the next time, the 10th is the next time. So we'll have time.
Yeah.
Spend time going into designs and showing you how to customize something like that. So that instead of they're like blanks where it says download my app, and then right underneath it seems like there should be something there. It'll say what your web address is, what the app address is, or things like that, because I edited that out so anybody can use it. But if you go into designs, there's so many designs in there, and once you know how to customize them, it's so fast and so simple. And that's really what it's for. 10 years from now, when you're big ballers and you got an assistant working for you and stuff like that, and you want to have them work in Canva, go right ahead. They can work on their heart's content. But right now, when you've got a service to you that's free, that can do the stuff and you can help you personalize, learn it, get the sense of it. Once you've used it a bunch of times, go, you know what, this part is really annoying. I wish it didn't do that. And I want to spend $12 a month to have another thing do it. Cool. At that point, you can decide that. But right now, this is free and fun.
Yep.
So I recommend free and fun over spending money, unless you have a real personal kind of need to do it a little differently. Let's see.
Well, that's all I got. You got more?
No,
Okay, guys.
everybody get that yet? I don't know.
Jessica, I won't be here next Thursday.
Okay.
Why not?
I
South
got it.
Dakota.
I'm just kidding.
She's going to South Dakota.
You'll see it on my time block thing, but I already rescheduled my one-on-one with Irene for
Okay.
Wednesday. So
Oh, you're so good.
And Gunnar, I'll send it to you when after we sit down and you get everything set up, because right now it wouldn't do you much good, but.
Okay. That sounds good.
All right, guys, it's good seeing all of you. I am grateful for all of you.
I'll be grateful for comments, but I could take his last name.
Oh, Schultz.
By the way, I'm bringing sauerkraut and bratwursts
Yay.
and dumplings when we do our potluck.
I'm so excited.
I'll smoke
I
some
love
ribs.
sour.
Ribs, whoa.
Nice.
You put
Getting
bacon in your
fancy here.
sauerkraut, Jason?
Thanks for sharing.
I can understand why a person would.
I like barely drink, so just let you guys
Because,
Just
you
so you know.
know, anything you bring is better with
FYI.
bacon.
know. I really just barely
Right?
do.
Am I right? I missed that. I got it.
HOFSCHULTR. There's a dot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thomas, is there a dot on your email?
Hey, Thomas, you got a
What's
dot
up?
in your email or no?
Right?
A dot in my what?
Email.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Okay, one more.
So we're not doing PC on the 17th, on St. Patrick's Day.
Right. not- Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know my account ID for the printer.
Gotcha. And then not on the 31st.
Right, okay. I mean, we'll be here.
Yeah.
Right, we'll be, we won't be doing like a session or whatever.
Yes.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, adios.
Bye-bye.
Perfect.